Coming to you live from digital address GA0992539 in Kukumim, Accra. We're also on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram with Joy News on TV. We're also live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. Check out our YouTube stream on Joy News Live. My name is Mapisa CBD. This is JoyNews Interactive. We'll be back after this. Now let's start with this. President Akufo-Addo has revealed that data available from the Ghana Health Service indicates that Ghana appears to be experiencing a third wave of COVID-19 infections. He has also bemoaned the decline in the wearing of face masks in public places. Now, according to him, it is necessary to adhere to all COVID-19 protocols, and the wearing of face masks is not an exception to this rule. Now, in his 26th national address on measures his administration has taken to fight the spread of the virus, the president stated that anyone found flouting this directive will have him or herself to blame.
It is extremely troubling to note that the high compliance rate with mask wearing has fallen alarmingly. The wearing of masks in public places, fellow Ghanaians, continues to be mandatory. There are no exceptions to this rule, and strict conformity with this protocol will be enforced. Anyone found to be flouting this directive will have him or herself to blame. We cannot afford anyone's recklessness to endanger the lives of the majority of persons in the country. The COVID-19 task force, which I chair, has recommended that a second look be taken at the protocols that have been put in place for social and public gatherings, in particular weddings and funerals across the country. I have in previous updates emphasized the need for the strict observance of safety protocols at all such gatherings. To ensure that such gatherings do not become the sources of infections, the following must be adhered to by all at these gatherings. Firstly, the wearing of masks continues to be mandatory, and persons must respect the enhanced hygiene protocols. Secondly, all such events must be held in open-air spaces. Thirdly, the duration of such events is limited to 2 hours. Fourthly, there must be observance of the 1 meter social distancing rule. And fifthly, handshakes must be avoided. Furthermore, given that people sitting together to eat, drink, laugh, dance, and talk in large gatherings without masks are the riskiest activities for spreading the virus, all post-event receptions, particularly related to weddings and funerals, are banned. I want to reiterate the protocols surrounding activities in churches and mosques remain the same as our protocols in schools. With workplaces currently witnessing a resurgence in COVID-19 infections, it is important that owners and management of businesses and workplaces implement strictly the guidelines on staff management and workplace protocols, such as the use of a shift system and technology, mask wearing, social distancing and hygiene protocols, as was required in the earlier days of the pandemic.
Now, a lot of you have been reacting to this on Facebook and Twitter. We'll start with Facebook and see what you guys have been saying. We'll also put up our Zoom link on the screen so that you guys can join the conversation. Now, let's go to Evans, who says, but you're at Sir John's funeral together with your entire government and party people flouting every social distancing protocol. Lead by example and the rest of us will follow. And then we've got Nobility, who says, Mr. President, are you for real? At Sir John's funeral, what didn't happen there at full glare of the public? Stop this mischief. That's what Nobility is saying. But NMD says, Mr. President, you dropped your guard. You should not blame anyone but you and your ministers. It's a sad, sad day for this republic, and that's according to NMD. Opia Kojamensa says COVID is real. We must adhere to strict standards for our own betterment. Richard Hackman says, after Sir John's funeral and the disrespect to the COVID protocols, you are now telling us to take it strictly. Ghana is really funny. Gideon says, Mr. President, we're tired of your mind games. This is nonsense. Create jobs for the youth and stop beating around the bush. Ghana beyond aid. Prince Alton says, President, Nana, please, our debtors are hiding under the nose mask, or we don't usually identify them. Richard says, Mr. President, thank you very much. You're doing a good job. Arthur Johnson says, Mr. President has already broken the COVID-19 protocol by attending Sir John's funeral, so there's no way he can ban funerals again. Strategically, he said we should not keep more than 2 hours. Wow, look at this all. Al Hassan Issa says, you can't ban social gatherings. That is where we get our daily bread to feed our families. When we apply for the COVID-19 funds, did you give us? He's asking. Al Hassan is asking. Now, another raging topic on social media is the Anti-LGBTQ Bill. Now, a research fellow at the Center for International and Comparative Labour and Social Security Law at the University of Johannesburg had described this Anti-LGBTQI+ bill as ridiculous and without a basis in law. Dr. Edwin Coleman says Parliament must not approve the bill as it seeks to stifle the freedom of speech and expressions of Ghanaians. He spoke on the legal show, The Law.
We go into the meaning of human dignity, which I've done some studies into it, and underlying them is the choice of an individual. And this choice, it has been extended to include many things. As to whether you would include same-sex relationships, that is why we are having this discussion in any way. And in any case, if a criminal law somewhere precludes people from acting in a certain way, does that justify the restriction on free speech? Does that justify the restriction on freedom of thought? Does that justify the restriction on freedom of expression? The point I am making is categorically clear. In order for us to restrict fundamental rights, we must make convincing arguments. And that argument about HIV, that argument about African values, that argument about trying to create a moral code for Ghanaians is unfounded. It's unfounded in law. It doesn't have any basis whatsoever.
Now, speaking on the same show, law lecturer at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, Justice Abdullah, said the bill seeks to protect the cultural values of the country and must be passed. However, he says that portions of the bill that may infringe on human rights must be amended.
No crime is lesser than the other. Until the day that we decide to decriminalize homosexuality, I do not, and I would never advocate, allow, and seek to be in support of anything that is in line with persons engaging pure criminality. I am in complete support of this law. If there are any minors that we believe genuinely that it needs to be discussed, debated, I am all for it. But I will never throw away the baby together with the bathwater, because this is one of the best intentions have been expressed in this law, and I would urge that we push forward with this law, notwithstanding any disagreement from any corner. Of course, unless that disagreement is genuinely born out of particular circumstances, that we can all debate and then see how best to fashion out the best way out of it.
So that's Law Lecturer Justice Abdullah. Now, we'll be getting your reactions on Facebook. But before that, remember to join via Zoom with your audio and your video so that we can see you clearly. We want to, hear your thoughts on the upsurge in COVID-19 cases and the Anti-LGBTQ plus bill. On that note, we're going to take a quick breather. When we come back, we'll take your reactions and hear what you guys have to say. You're still watching JoyNews Interactive. My name is Mapisa CBD, and before we took the break, we've been talking about the upsurge in COVID-19 cases and also the Anti-LGBTQ plus bill, and we want to get your reactions. Join via Zoom. Our ID is on the screens. It's 845-3844-1652, and the password is 641757. Join with your audio so that we can have a fruitful conversation. I want to hear all your reactions and what you guys have to say. And let's see, who do we have? Daniel, good morning. So what I need you to do for me is to unmute yourself and tell me what you think. Hi, Daniel.
Hi.
All right, Daniel, if you can tell the people in the background to just keep it low for a bit and share your thoughts on the upsurge in COVID-19 cases and what the president had to say last night, and also the anti-LGBTQ plus bill. Daniel.
Well, I just joined in and I want you to bring it back again.
All right, so I want to hear your thoughts on the upsurge in COVID-19 cases. Well, President Akufo-Addo says we can only gather for 2 hours, no reception, whether it's wedding, it's funeral. And he also says a lot of people have stopped wearing their face masks in public, which is, you know, also causing the third wave. And also there's an anti-LGBTQ plus bill that people have been talking about on social media. Some are for it, some are against it. Where do you stand? Let's hear your thoughts.
Okay, so in a nutshell, what I have to say concerning these two stories is with the COVID aspect, you see, you always put your best foot forward, all right? So let's observe the protocols to curb the spread of the virus. So that is it. And talking about the LGBTQST plus bill, whatever it stands is, what I want to talk to you about is this. You know, we are the top class when it comes to the animal kingdom aspects. We are all animals. So let us go down to our petty animals we have at home.
Okay.
If they do, you know, let's look at them. We go to the zoo to see if they do they do apply to kind of male to male have yeah.
Okay, I get you.
You get a picture I'm trying to paint. Yeah. So if you go there back to the animal kingdom, maybe you take a monkey. If can a monkey accept, be like, oh, okay, let me have my male partner as you to see if they are going to have babies, if they are going to produce results, then we can push forward to that. But other than that, if it doesn't happen in the animal kingdom or insect or any aspect of it, then I don't think there's the need for us to pass it out.
All right. That's your opinion, Daniel. Let's see.
Yeah, that's my.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, and I appreciate your opinion. All right, so that's Daniel talking about the upsurge in COVID-19 cases and the anti-LGBTQ plus bill. Let's speak to Haruna. Haruna Osman, good morning. I'd like you to unmute and let's have a conversation. Haruna, unmute yourself and tell me your thoughts on these two topics.
Yes. Good morning. Yes. Good morning, and thank you for having me. Yes. On the issue of COVID-19, let me use this opportunity. The only thing I have to say is to advise all Ghanaians. Okay. Yes, I have been hearing a lot over the few days that a lot of people out there are saying because politicians are not adhering to COVID-19 protocols, they wouldn't also adhere to it. Please, let's don't forget that we are for our own lives. The politicians are not for our life. You and I out there, when we fail to wear the mask, we are not dying with the life of President Akufo-Addo. So I'm pleading with all Ghanaians. Let's wear our nose masks. Let's try to protect ourselves before we die. The politicians, we are not going to die with them. Let me also talk about this issue of this LGB something we are talking about. Look, we are a nation of our own values. And one thing I have always tell people is that no amount of laws will be better or more than our values. The values are what we are living within before even the coming of certain laws. And I'm saying that
we as a nation, we are a religious nation.
Yeah.
And we are not praying for anything of that kind to happen.
Okay.
So please.
All right. Thank you, Haruna Osman. Let's listen to other people. Let's go to Benjamin Tete. Thank you, Haruna. We appreciate your comments. Benjamin, please unmute yourself and tell me what you think about the topics we have discussed so far, COVID-19 cases and the anti-LGBTQ+.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh, okay, fine. Hello.
Benjamin, so what I need you to do is to mute the volume of your television set and use your earpiece so that we can have a conversation, okay? So unmute yourself and then turn down the volume of your television set. Benjamin Tete,
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay, I think if anything at all, there should be leadership by example. So
Okay.
I think the leaders of this our country that we live in are doing us great disservice when it comes to following whatever laid down process that they have laid down for us.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the way the president and then the ministers and then his vice and then party members conducted themselves during Sir John's funeral, it was very uncalled for. And when you look at these examples, these negative examples, and then you are in the vehicle and you are in mask or on mask, and then you tell someone to just, put on the mask, they just, refer you to what's happened.
Yeah.
You understand? So these things are some of the things that, draws the countries back.
Yeah.
When you talk about, going through this protocol and seeing through that, we are able to, fight this pandemic. So I think that our leaders are not helping in some way.
All right,
so,
thank you, Benjamin Tete. But let me go to Benjamin Owusu-Ansah. We have about 2 minutes. Okay, Benjamin Owusu-Ansah has left us. Peter, good morning. Tell us what your thoughts are on the two topics we've discussed so far.
Okay, thank you, my sister. I would like to talk about the LGBTQ bill. This bill is that I'm praying that it doesn't get accepted or it doesn't go through. Because, in my view, I think if the stance that we have against the bill right now can draw sanctions from the Western countries, and you know the kind of country that we are, it is the Western countries that are helping us. We depend on them for aid, and it helps us a lot.
Okay.
So if they are saying that we should, respect the human right, we should let this bill go aside, and we are also saying that we will never relent on it. It may, draw their, or it may inform them to put sanctions on Ghana, as we've been saying, as we've been seeing.
Yeah.
Because that is what they do. That's why if they say do something and you are not able to do as they dictate, you will fall in their bad book.
Okay.
So it is as simple as that.
Thank you, Benjamin. Let's go to our last caller, who is Rabita, right? Rabidako.
Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you. You're my last caller. In 30 seconds, tell me, share your comments.
Good. I want to...
Rabidako, I can hear you loud and clear. Just continue speaking. All right. Doc, is Doc still here? Do we still have the doctor? All right, Doc, you have 30 seconds to share your comments.
Yes, I want to speak about the LGBT issue. And I'm very surprised how somebody in Ghana will be standing against this kind of bill. And people from places like South Africa are speaking against it, and I'm really surprised.
Okay.
But I think this is the best thing that we can do for our country. When you've ever been to South Africa and you know what is happening in the area of HIV and the contribution of...
All right, unfortunately, Doctor, we have run out of time, but definitely throughout the week, we will be talking about this and opening the Zoom lines and, having a conversation about this. You know how to join the conversation on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're JoyNews on TV. My name is Mapita Sibidi. Enjoy the rest of your day.